Okay. Let's continue on with more triangle strategy. I forget where we left off, actually. Considering we just did this yesterday.
And so it was that the once proud kingdom of Glenbrook did fall. Aesfrost seized control of the Crown City, threatening to bring the surrounding domains under its iron yoke. Now the Archduke's army marches upon House Wolford's stronghold, where Prince Roland is being sheltered by his loyal friends and allies.
It's all upon the scales. Alright. Looks like we're good.
Your most honorable siblings, Lord Thalas and Lady Erica, have arrived, my lord.
Thank you for the escort. You may go now.
If there is anything else that you require, anything at all, you need but say the word.
In that case, I would have a bottle of the realm's finest wine and a serving of fresh fruit delivered to my quarters.
But of course, milady, I shall have the servants fetch it at once.
Ever eager to please, isn't he?
I believe the word you're looking for is sycophant.
That works.
Congratulations on bringing Glenbrook to its knees, brother. It's a thing of beauty, what you've accomplished. I trust you're already seeing to that fuss outside the castle walls?
Of course.
The other domains are putting up little in the way of resistance. Lord Telior trembles in his seat within the stronghold, and Lord Fawkes was oblivious to what was happening until it was far too late.
How easily the three high houses of Glenbrook break under your iron boot, brother.
Wolford is the last to hold out, but Avlora will deal with them. Prince Roland will be in our hands before long.
Speaking of royalty, brother, I
Cordelia
would have thought
would be the
Cordelia
only
would be
one
dead or
left,
rotting in
isn't it?
jail. Yet
The
here
king
she
and the older
sits
brother
on
are
the
probably
throne.
dead. Prince
She looks less a
Roland
vanquished princess
escaped.
and more a queen.
That is precisely what I would have her be.
Whatever do you mean?
He plans to marry her.
Once things have calmed, I shall assume guardianship over her and have her crowned.
I'll go that route.
A few days hence, Regna will be executed. I've already informed Patriat as much.
So the wise and benevolent King Regna meets his end at last.
Father! Please, can someone explain? What are we going to do? Excuse me. Can you tell me what's happening, please?
Did I hear him wrong? I don't get
Subjects of Glenbrook, I am Gustadolf, Archduke and High Commander of the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost. Hear my words. The sins King Regna has committed against us, and against you, his own people, are grievous indeed.
What has he done to us?
3 decades have passed since the end of the war. In the years since, we have all done what we can to rebuild our nations. The opening of the Grand Norzelian mines was to be the dawn of a new age. An age where our 3 nations would work together for the peace and prosperity of all. But King Regna spat in the face of that glorious dream. As our engineers worked tirelessly to put success within reach, your King Regna schemed in the shadows to seize control of the mine for his own profit. And when Dragan Esfrost, my dear cousin, and the man tasked with overseeing the mine's operations, became aware of this plot, King Regna had him assassinated in cold blood. In doing so, he betrayed not only my own nation and the holy state of Hyzant, but you as well. The very people who were to share in the wealth the mine would bring. And so we were left with no choice but to march on Whiteholm Castle and put an end to Regna's treachery by force. Our actions were born of a righteous duty to avenge Dragan's murder and this odious betrayal of this historic accord between our nations. What say you, King Regna? Do you deny these charges against you?
I do not. But I beg of you, spare my children.
Subjects of Glenbrook, your traitor king admits his guilt before you. The punishment for these crimes is death. Off with his head!
Roland, Cordelia, the future of our kingdom is in your hands now.
I don't understand why he didn't say that that wasn't the truth. Brutal.
Just days after the fall of the Crown City, King Regna of Glenbrook is beheaded before his subjects. The death of this kind and benevolent monarch plunges the realm into confusion and chaos. With the king perishes an all too short-lived era of peace, and in its place, one of bloodshed and turmoil.
Okay. Oh, we got a few side stories going on here, it looks like. Start with this one, I guess. Citadel of Sands. Looks like this is gonna be over in Hyzant? Yeah. I think this is like the first time we'd kind of see it. We chose not to travel
Minister
there.
Sorsley. What is it this time, Booker?
We've just received word that Esfrost has launched a surprise invasion of Glenbrook. Whiteholm burns as we speak.
What's this?
The Crown City has fallen. King Regna was beheaded, and it is said Crown Prince Franny also perished in the fray. Prince Roland has fled to the domain of House Wolfort, with the Grand Duchy's army in close pursuit.
Goddess forbid. What could the Archduke be plotting? And what do the others think of the matter?
At any rate, I must speak with the Hierophant at once.
Minister, if I may assuage you, I propose that perhaps this situation may yet play to House N's benefit.
Our benefit, you say? Indeed. Indeed. You may have the right of it. My dear Booker, whatever would House N do without you?
Send a bird to the palace. Tell them that the Holy One's faithful servant Sorsley would humbly beg an audience.
At once, Master.
Telier Streets.
Whatever is House Telior to do. With King Regna gone, we must find a way to preserve ourselves. Landroy, that proud fool, will no doubt fight to the bitter end. But House Fawkes alone is no match for the Grand Duchy. Yet if House Wolford were to fight at their side... They say Prince Roland is in Wolford's charge. If this is true, there's a good chance they will join the fray. Or will they? The Wolfords may choose to ransom the prince to Esfrost in return for amnesty for their own domain. If it comes to that, Esfrost will either kill the prince and princess, or use them as their pawns, and Glenbrook will fall.
Remember this character either.
Bending the
Sylvia?
knee to Esfrost
I don't
may
think
be
we've seen
our
her before.
only hope if we are to live to see tomorrow.
Does it ring a bell? Seems like some of these stories are kind of short.
Your Majesty, House Fawkes has failed you. I have failed you. High House, damn it all! When you needed us most, we were not there to answer the call. How did we not see what they were plotting? How did we not know to go to your aid? But no, cursing our fate will not bring you back to us. We must focus our efforts on the one who might yet save Glenbrook from downfall. We must protect Prince Roland with our lives.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Is it Brielle? Alright, let's go to the Crown City.
It would seem things have calmed outside the castle walls.
What is to become of us now? Word has it the King's Guard's been slaughtered to the last man. We must flee while we have our lives.
If they meant to kill ordinary folk like us, wouldn't they have done so already? Even as frosty dogs have some honor then. Who'd have thought? Anyway, there's no point fighting. What'll be, will be.
Our people seem less resentful of Esfrost than I would have expected. No doubt due to the Archduke's decision to focus their attack on the castle and leave the town itself unscathed. So, the common folk won't be a problem. That just leaves the matter of the royal family. His Grace and the Crown Prince have been dealt with, and Princess Cordelia has been brought to heel. Prince Roland is the only one unaccounted for, but the men I arranged for hunt him down as we speak. Word has it there's also a sizable bounty on his head. No,
Looks
he'll
like
not
he's
last
just
long.
monologuing to himself.
I knew Gustadolf to be a shrewd man, but his attention to detail is nothing short of astonishing. I have seen all I would. Let us return.
Cool. Hi, Night Lost. Appreciate the follow. Thank you. Alright, I'm just going to be continuing playing some triangle strategy today. I started it yesterday. Got pretty far into it. Alright, looks like we're going to continue with the main story now.
Lord Serenoa, thank the heavens you're safe.
Pretty much, yep. That's where we're at right now.
It is good to be home.
Castle Wolfort is the most impregnable stronghold in all the kingdom. You will be safe here, Your Highness.
Thank you. I can only hope Father and Sir Maxwell are safe as well.
So I'm assuming you've been playing this game
Benedict,
too, or?
there is news.
It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it a lot.
What's the matter, Benedict? You look as if you've seen a ghost.
Your Highness, my lord, pray try to remain calm. His Grace was beheaded at the Crown City not bells ago.
Father. No. Say it is not so.
Roland.
Okay, I figured.
I can only imagine what you're feeling now,
I
Your
feel like I'm
Highness.
probably about a
But I
third
fear
of the
we
way,
have
maybe a
not
bit
the
less.
luxury of grieving. As the last living heir to the throne, there is no doubt that the Archduke will target you next.
Indeed. We must move quickly. I would seek Father's counsel.
About Lord Sima.
What is it? Has something befallen Father?
I'm surprised he's not dead yet. He's been having heart problems since the very beginning of the game.
Father!
Lord Simon, what is the meaning of this?
He collapsed when he heard the news from the Crown City, and has not opened his eyes since.
That's not
You
good.
must be mad. The man was stronger than an ox.
We cannot afford to lose Lord Simone. Not now, of all times.
Father. Be
Well, I mean,
strong,
Serenora
Father.
is supposedly taking
This
over
realm
already,
still needs you.
so...
I still need you, Father. Father.
Serenoa.
Is there any chance he will recover?
Our healers are doing everything they can, but none can say.
Very well.
I think so far at this point, Frederica is my favorite character.
Do
She's
not
cool.
give up hope, Serenoa. The malady will not take your father easily.
Forgive me, Roland. I can only imagine what you feel now.
I must stay strong. I cannot allow Father's death to be in vain. You too must remain composed. For Lord Simon. And for those who now look to you for guidance in his stead.
I will try.
Pardon me, my lord. I come bearing a message.
From whom?
The scout we had sent in search of Sir Maxwell returned with this.
Sir Maxwell's mask.
Yeah. He did get... I still don't think he's dead.
Reports have it that it was found near Whiteholm Bridge.
Blood. No.
He
It cannot be.
survived.
This mask was all that was found, you say?
The bridge was all but overflowing with the bodies of the fallen. It was not possible to ascertain all of their identities. And the swift course of the river thwarted any efforts to search further.
I see. Thank you for the report. Get some rest. You have earned it.
Yes, my lord.
Sir Maxwell, you too abandoned me now?
At least Prince Roland still has Cyrano.
At Gustadolf's command, Esfrost musters its forces at Whiteholm Castle and commences a march on the Wolfort domain. Their aim, to seize in their clutches Prince Roland, the unwilling heir to Glenbrook's throne.
My lord, the Esfrosti army advances on us as we speak. A missive
Idiots,
has arrived
Boko.
from
How's it
Lord
going?
Gustadolf. It says they will stand down on the condition that we surrender
Doing pretty
Prince
good.
Roland
Just
to
playing
them
some
at
more
once.
triangle strategy.
We've not much time before they're on our doorstep, my lord.
Word has it that General Avlora herself heads the vanguard.
Gustadolf's not taking any chances. The scheming bastard.
Summon the War Council at once. We must take swift action.
You cannot be serious about this.
It's all right, Frederica.
Please continue, Benedict.
Thank you. Once more, I would ask you plainly. Do we or don't we relinquish Prince Roland to Esfrost?
No.
I say we refuse. We owe Sir Maxwell that much.
Yeah.
Precisely. Sir Maxwell entrusted us with keeping His Highness safe, and we accepted.
There's no place in the realm more sheltered by the terrain than this castle. He is safer here than anywhere. And yet, if the Archduke were to march on us with an army as great as the one that took the Crown City, or, heaven forbid, a greater one,
the natural fortifications of this land would work against us. Our shelter would become our jail.
So you propose that we just abandon him? That we sacrifice his life for our own protection?
Better my life than any of yours. This is my battle. I would not see the blood of my friends spilt in my name.
But see, Your Highness, that's where you're wrong. House Wolfort's the sword and shield of the crown. You go to battle, we go with you. So it's always been.
Enough! I will leave before I see your domain ravaged by fighting. It is the only way. Surely you see this, yes?
I refuse to believe sacrificing any of us is the correct path.
My lord, we cannot allow war to come to the Wolfort domain. Your highest priority must be to your
I
loyal
sense we're gonna
subjects.
be using the scales here pretty
You
soon and
must
taking a
decide.
vote. I don't know which one of these I want. Maybe if we try to look find some other solution. I don't know. This is the one that makes it sound like we're gonna give them up. That's the thing too, we can't just think about ourselves. It's gonna be everybody. Ugh. Many will lose their lives, yeah. Let's go with this one.
I cannot render a decision here and now. There must be some solution.
I understand
That
how
was a
you
tough
must
one.
feel. My brother has put House Wolfort in an impossible position. I cannot begin to apologize.
No, you are not to blame. Forgive me. I should not have spoken so.
As the master of this domain, you and no other must decide how we proceed.
I understand that, Benedict. Prepare the scales of conviction.
Yep.
I would hear
Saw
everyone's
that
thoughts
coming.
on the matter.
This is only like the second time we've used this. I was wondering when we were gonna do it again. Alright. Do we have any side story things going on? Nope. Alright. Time for the scales of conviction.
I will give the signal when it is time to cast your vote. I ask each of you to weigh the matter carefully till then.
Very well, my lord. To our own councils we go.
Hearts are divided, still a compelling argument yet change some minds. Alas, I have an incomplete picture of the situation. I'd be a poor lord if I did not hear the voice of my people. I should venture into town. Yeah. Going up, my lord? Yes, I wish to ensure everything in the town is in order. Understood, my lord. When your work is done, pray speak to me once more. I'll do just that, thank you. I should return to the hall once I've spoken with the people. Perhaps I'll learn something that will sway some minds. I saw something there. Ooh, another HP ring. Should we put that on? Roland, maybe. Actually, let's give it to Frederica. There. I'm afraid we'd never know conflict again after a Salt Iron War, yet here we stand, peering into the abyss. Though it was Glenbrook and Esfrost launching an attack on Hyzant all those years ago. The Holy State reeling from the surprise assault, turned to Lord Simone for help. Back then, Wolfort was still an independent clan and agreed to an alliance. Arnozelia was poorer for the fighting. Its nations and people were left depleted. So I've heard. Father told me stories of the secret meetings with King Regna that restored peace to the realm. Indeed, it was they who brought Hyzant and Esfrost to the table, and then the war to an end. It was your father's efforts that led the king to bring your house to the royal family's fold as the crown's military might. War is brewing, Lord Sinnoh. I think carefully upon how you'll navigate it. After all, 'tis a legacy of compassion and fighting for what's right that makes us proud to call this domain home. I would warn you, legacies are slippery things and easily ruined. Tread carefully and choose wisely, young lord. Oh, okay, so there's a bounty. So we might... So if we give him up, yeah, he says he's not gonna be killed right away. I mean, that could give us some time to save him later. And in the meantime, we'll avoid conflict. A lot to think about. Long have I heard rumors of secret traps that dot Wolfort domain. Tales are to be believed. They serve to make quick work of any invaders, though I can't help but wonder why keep such a valuable weapon secret. Secret traps, hard to say what this might mean for us. So we could actually repel them using these traps. Yeah, they might well be employed to give us an advantage in battle that will cost to our own. That would help us keep him safe. Show you confusion, but Frederica knew nothing of this. Yeah, go with that. Yes, of course, she's your betrothed. We too wish to believe she had no hand in this. And surely they will not come to our domains, where the Archduke's own sister now resides? Precisely, yes, you've nothing to fear. We shall defend our land to the end. It is a relief to hear that. My heart aches for a royal family. I should hate to see such an unnecessary war descend upon us. Ooh, we're finally getting quality iron. Ah, silver. I don't mind to make my way to the capital, but the high road's blocked. What's the meaning of this anyway? I've got mouths to feed at home. Kind of getting the feeling people don't want, they would want us to give up Roland. But I have a feeling Esfrost is going to attack anyways. Maxwell will lay down his life so I might see another day. Yeah, we have to honor that too. To keep Roland safe. Frederica already made that point, too. Is that everything? Seems like it might be. We got luck ring. Who should we give that to? Maybe Anna? Where is Anna? Do not have her anymore? Oh, there she is. Luck ring. There we go. Can't go back there. Okay. Am I ready to go back? I think I am. Alright. Who should... I still say we're going to protect Prince Roland. So let's speak with Anna. She seems to be undecided. She'd probably be the easiest to sway.
Lord Saranoa.
Will you surrender the prince or not? Will you choose House Wolfort or the whole kingdom? This question of our priority is what matters most to us. We must protect Roland. It seems like it's easier to convince her to protect Roland than it is to surrender him, so... Do you mean to protect Prince Roland at all costs? Yeah, we're going that way. Esfrost is vastly more powerful in its greater numbers, but fortune also has a role to play. I kind of like using these dialogue choices that you unlock. Or as always, a game of numbers, Saranoa.
Well then.
Will not defeat the duchy, absent considerable cunning or aid. In any case, we must not be too hasty.
I need
I'll consider
time.
the matter with that little time we have. Here's indifferent. Right. Who else do we need to convince? Roland's probably not going to be able to be convinced.
Saranoa.
Must be a way to avoid weighing my life against those of others. I trust we can find it. Decide what you will. I shall follow whatever judgment you pass. Might take effort. Oh, we can try to sway him. Not allow my life to be weighed against those of the people. Dawn Spear sacrifice. Yep, that's what we're going with.
Certainly.
Master taught that whoever rules is righteous by virtue of their station alone. But now, though I weigh your words more heavily than most, I know not what is right.
However,
I appreciate you speaking your mind, but I have my own thoughts on the matter. After all, if this matter can be settled by me alone, is it not best if I do so? Yeah, we still have our secret weapon.
I wonder.
You may to saying such a thing is available to us. We may well drive the enemy out, but we'd bring harm to our own people in the process. Are we willing to pay that price? I can no longer discern what is right and what is wrong. I place my fate in your hands. Well, at least we made him undecided, I guess. Hey, cop player. How's it going?
My lord.
I'm trying to convince these people to save Roland. Not be wise to continue the fight with Esfrost. If protecting His Highness's life is our first priority, it would be safer to accept their conditions. In other words, you feel that Roland is of more use to Esfrost alive as a puppet than dead. No, that's wrong, because they could use Cordelia instead of him if they need to. Shooting cans with arrows, then chores. Ah, that sounds neat. I kind of always thought about doing archery. Kind of interesting, but I doubt I ever will. Precisely. Furthermore, we must consider Princess Cordelia, who currently is in the enemy's clutches alone. Better luck talking to Stonewall. Oh, we can try. I trust that you'll make a reasoned decision, my lord. Go for its secret weapon. Let's go with that. Perhaps the battle's not as hopeless as one might think. Town's secret weapon. I must confess I was not aware Lord Cyrano knew of our domain's last resort.
So,
have you any more to say in your favor? I have as much a duty to the royal family as I do to House Wolfort. Yeah. If anything, I think that's probably going to convince him. Gotta clean the yard. Interesting. Most admirable stance, my lord. Your father would be proud. And yet the rub lies in translating that belief into action. At any rate, I thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. I shall take them to heart. Benedict is deep in thought. Alright, we gotta try to convince Gila here.
What do you need?
Olin is worth more to Esfrost as a political pawn than a corpse. They will not kill him once they have him. Again, I'm not too sure about that. They also have Cordelia. Oh. Redeemed hydrate and stretch. Okay, I appreciate that. I could use a drink, actually. I'll go for a stretch. Okay, and dehydrate. There we go. Much better. Okay. Yeah, you stay safe. I appreciate the redeems. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Off-road vehicle, yeah. Be careful. It's just as dangerous. At least that is how I see it. We are to do what gives us the most hope, and Roland himself has the right of it. Back at 9. Okay. Yeah, I fear delivering Roland would not stop Esfrost's onslaught. That's one. That was the point I made too.
I wonder about that.
But the same speed, yeah. I've always heard stories of like people even on like snowmobiles out in the winter. They try to do tricks off of them, like doing flips and stuff, and they end up really hurting themselves. Has to mean a cowus rather than conquer us.
Well...
Alright, I appreciate the alert. Thank you. Sure. On what rumors?
Yes, I see.
You've heard talk of the town's last resort, I take it. Oh, nothing more than to believe it's real. And if it is, I agree it could be quite the boon. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I suppose Now we see what fortune has in store for us. Gil appears indifferent. Alright, well, we kind of convinced all the people we need to convince. So what now? Do we go to the scale of conviction? Commence vote. Let's do it. Yeah, be careful.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we surrender Prince Roland, or do we protect him from those who would do him harm? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I am sorry.
Forgive me, but on this point I cannot yield.
Forgive me, my lord.
Uh-oh.
You aren't wrong, but...
Considering the Dutch's actions, I fear this is the only way forward.
My apologies.
Maintain the courage of my convictions. How did they vote?
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Oh no. I didn't convince anybody. What the heck? Oh well.
The way forward is decided.
I did my best.
Surrendering Prince Roland is the only way we can survive.
That's one way to get rid of a splinter, I guess, yeah. Tweeze it out with some wire cutters. Yeah.
So be it.
The decision is made. This is the path we walk.
Was there truly no other way?
Roland.
Say no more.
I guess the
Thank you for
convictions
sheltering
wasn't
me,
strong
my
enough.
friend. The choice you have made is wise and just. Go forward with your heads high.
Roland left the party. No! I guess, that's kind of one of the better things about the game, is it's kind of taken out of your control at points, though. Just like real life, right? You gotta live with the consequences of your decisions. Only a BB
House
gun.
Wolford
Okay.
surrenders their charge, Prince Roland, at Gustadolf's behest, sparing themselves from the Duchy's wrath. House Tellior surrenders their land, also buying their reprieve. Lord Silvio bends the knee, declaring absolute devotion to their Esfrosty masters. House Folks surrenders nothing. The last of the high houses to remain loyal to their fallen king. News of their countrymen's capitulations shocks Lord Landroy, leaving him with a grave choice to make.
I've brought the prince, Your Grace.
Gustadolf, you traitorous bastard! You'll pay for what you've done to my family! Mark my words!
Easy there, Avlora. We need him alive, after all.
I am sworn to do all in my power to keep you from harm, Your Grace.
The boy is overcome with emotion, and who could blame him? Perhaps this will quell his rage a bit.
Cordelia!
Brother! Let him go.
Indulge her, Avlora.
Oh, brother! Thank the heavens you're safe. They didn't hurt you, did they?
I'm fine. I thought I'd never see you again. Let us speak after. Surely the Archduke will afford us that small mercy.
Yes. Later, then.
Prince Roland, you are well aware of the position Glenbrook finds itself in, yes? Your kingdom is ours. House Telior and House Wolfort have both bent the knee. Among the three high houses, only House Folks still proves recalcitrant.
You mean for me to convince Lord Landroy to submit?
Oh, nothing so tedious as that. I want you to order his death. I'm certain House Wolfort would be more than happy to oblige.
You're mad! I won't be a mouthpiece to your cruelty.
I know you've only just come into your responsibility, so allow me to offer a word of advice. A prince's first thought should ever be of his people.
What are you saying?
Landroy will not stand idly by for long. When he acts, and act he will, this land will once again be consumed by the fires of war. It is your duty as prince to quench that fire while it is yet kindling, lest you rule over a kingdom of corpses when all is done. You see that I am right, Your Highness. Give the order.
Not liking where this is going.
Phallus, enjoying yourself, are you? I do wish you'd learn to temper your vices, brother.
And I wish you'd learn to live a little, sister. Well then, what is it?
We leave for the Falk's domain at once.
I thought those Wolfort dogs were to do the deed. Why must we go?
You really must use your head more often. The one atop your shoulders, that is. When have you ever known a dog to be obedient without some good measure of discipline?
Indeed. Very well then, dear sister. I shall be ready anon.
Next one.
Twould seem the rumors were true, my lord. House Wolfort has delivered Prince Roland into Esfrost's clutches. And House Telior, my lord, they too have... My lord?
My good man, when you look at this painting, what do you feel?
It is our home. As beautiful and verdant in reality as it is depicted by a master's brush.
Indeed. It is a treasure, our land. It's safekeeping entrusted to us by His Majesty King Regna. May his soul rest in peace. An honor without equal. A duty worth fulfilling. At all and any cost. A duty I will not shirk from. Now or ever.
Character story. Let's do that.
Halt! This is the encampment of House Wolfort.
Splendid! For it's Lord Wolfort himself that I came to see. Lead me to him, my good man.
Big words from a shady-looking fellow in that ridiculous garb. Be gone at once.
Ridiculous. Why, I'll have you know that these robes are a treasured relic of...
Did I ask about your robes? I said, be gone.
Wait, I say! Ho there! Lord Wolfort! Can you hear me?
What's all the commotion here?
This strange lad demands an audience with you, Lord Serenoa, and stubbornly refuses to leave.
The name's Nar. Grandson and last disciple of the Archmage Gwendante, here to offer my services.
The Archmage Grandante? Forgive me, but in all my years of studying the arcane arts, I've never once heard that name.
You haven't? Oh, I see. I suppose you won't have.
Ah, I'm sorry if I offended you.
You needn't apologize, miss. Let's start over, shall we? Let me show you just what the final disciple of the Archmage Gwendante can do.
Incredible.
Well, what do you think?
I've never seen anything quite like it. Were you born with magic like this? Or perhaps...
My illustrious grandfather, the Archmage Gwendante, that is, taught me all I know. Please, let me join your army. I'm most certain my sorcery could avail you to no end.
Lord Serenoa, this boy possesses remarkable talent. I must admit, he would make a formidable addition to our forces.
Thank you, Jila. Narv, I welcome you to House Wolfort.
Thank you, my lord. My magic will change the world. Just you wait and see.
Nice. I wonder if we get different characters depending on which paths we take, though. Cast spells of every element. Change enemies' orientation with wind magic. Oh, nice. You can turn people around. I wonder if you can use lightning. It says you can use every element. Okay. Should we go to our encampment? I think we might. Ah, there he is. Ah, Lord Cyrano, I can't thank you enough for letting me join your house after all that shouting I did. I was able to talk a lot of different people here, and it made me realize that none of them have ever heard my grandfather's name. That's why I work harder than I ever have before, and everyone in Norzelia will have to acknowledge his name. As the last disciple of the Archmage Grandante, I swear it. We should be able to, yeah, there's another one. 200, or 2,000. Close quarters combat. Let's do it. We'll save first. I want to do at least all of these once, so we're going to be promoting here at least fairly soon, I think. Use all right. Alright. Need a placement. Yeah, we've got a lot more units now, too. Who should we use? We don't have Roland anymore, which makes me sad. I don't want you or you. Let's take him.
My magic is at your disposal.
Asabara, sure.
Aye, leave it to me.
Okay. Alright, now... Sure. Save. Alright, let's begin. Should be able to finish this one. Battle begins.
My turn.
Alright, she's going to take cover. So no one will be able to attack me.
Time to take flight.
Okay.
I will fight to my last breath.
Leave everything to me.
cleave. Across 3 horizontal squares. Brings good allies within range. Still can't get that guy. Oh, this'll work. Sure.
What a pain.
Oh, it's curing him.
Forward!
This ends here!
We doing this?
I'll send you flying!
Oh.
They got me.
I've been waiting for this!
They're,
Push on through!
using abilities on us.
I hope you're watching, Grandfather.
Whirlwind, Sanctuary. Wow. He's actually pretty darn good. It's a lot of ice, though. I'll just go with Whirlwind.
Ready to see a spell?
Okay.
Cool heads shall prevail.
Your wounds are healed.
Apologies.
Man, Frederica's slow. She's always like the last one to
Allow me.
act. Scorch 'em.
Please, heed my call. Oh no! Ouch!
Alright. What should I have her do? Guess take this guy out? I don't know, man. Not really cornering anybody at this point. Should we throw this poison at? You know what? Let's just backstab this guy. Yeah.
Sound strike.
Man.
Sound strike. This battle is ours. Goodbye.
For the honor of House Wolford.
Who should I finish off?
This ends here!
Yeah, I didn't want that guy healing up, so finishing him off would be a good idea.
I hope you're watching, Grandfather.
Icy breath. You kind of want to exploit a weakness, though, I think.
I've been waiting for this.
Oh yeah, we can corner this guy and get the item. Let's do that.
You're open. A new power.
I don't want to surmount.
I shall do what I can.
Allow me.
Thank you, friend.
Allow me.
Alright, Frederica's your turn. Can we just attack him normally and finish him off? Nope.
Flames, heed my call.
Leave everything to me.
This item.
We doing this? Trying something new.
I feel like it's a good spot to put that trap, actually. Or not.
Your orders?
Alright. Backstab this guy. Chop it.
Sounds straight next.
And again.
This is the end. Victory is within reach.
Over here.
The hunt is on.
Seems like we can land on our own traps, which is
Defeat
good.
is not an option.
This ends here.
Victory! Those kudoses we've been getting. We should probably use some of them. Quality fiber. Okay. We do have 79. Oh, metal. That's what we need to promote. Oh, we could get both. Let's get... Wait, what is lightweight? What the heck? Oh, it requires 2 quietest points. That's the other thing, is we need to... we only have 1 quietest point. We need to get enough kudoses to get 2. Ah, I think I want the metal though. Exchange, and we want Villain Told War. And we'll get a Restore. There, I like that. Okay. What about promotes? We have, what was it, Medal of Bravery? So we can do Serenoa pretty quickly here. Or, Frederica. So many people. I think we'll probably do Frederica. We can even do Anna right now. She's level 10. The thing is, I don't know when we're going to get our next medal. I think I'm going to hold off for Frederica. At least I know that's where we get our medals from, I assume. Let's head out. Missive arrives from Whitehall Castle to the Fallen House Wolford. Message appears. Unlikely to be a happy one. Well, this is the consequences of our actions. This is what we get for handing over Prince Roland.
What? Invade the Folk's domain?
Such was the edict delivered to us by the Esfrosti messenger.
Ludicrous. They would have the high houses turn on one another? We should be treating with house faults, not stabbing them in the back.
Doubtless the Archduke has little regard for honor between houses. He views the Falk's land as a fruit ripe for plucking.
One which they would pluck for themselves. Or have us pluck for them, rather.
The decree was signed in Prince Roland's own hand.
Lies! His hand was forced.
Indeed, by my brother. And if we disobey, the Archduke would have good reason to make an example of us.
Gustadolf wins either way. We're trapped.
And yet, no trap is infallible, my lord. There must be a way to avoid the civil war the Archduke is intent on causing.
Aye, and I reckon Lord Landroy's of the same mind. He's the last man who wants to see countrymen slaughtering each other.
Agreed, but we must tread carefully.
If indeed it is the land itself that Gustadolf desires, perhaps an exchange can be arranged.
An exchange of what? Territory?
Just so. House Tellior negotiated similar terms. Far from ideal, to be certain, but preferable to the alternative. Whether Lord Landroy will be amenable to such terms, however, is another matter entirely.
Still, it is our best chance. Let us treat with Lord Landroy. In the meantime, Esfrost must believe that we are playing along. Advance our forces to the Folk's domain.
Yes, my lord.
My lord, are you off to battle again?
Aye, by the royal family's decree. And I have need of able-bodied men.
Return victorious, my lord!
Worry not. We shall.
Why, if it isn't the young Lord Wolford?
Minister Patriot, I had not heard that you were paying a visit to our domain.
Ah, Lord Wolfort, pray do not concern yourself on my account. My work here is all but done, and it is time I was on my way. I must commend you, my lord, for keeping order and harmony in your domain despite the rather unfortunate recent events. Most admirable indeed. At the end of the day, our duty is to the throne, not to the man who sits in it. In times of uncertainty, we must value order above all else. I would encourage you to remember that.
I can see the merit in that. Thank you for your wisdom.
Heed it well, and I have no doubt many years of prosperity await you and yours under as frosty rule. By your leave, my lord.
What news from House Wolford, my lord?
The Archduke has ordered them to march on our domain in Prince Roland's name. A clever ploy, if true. No matter the outcome, Esfrost profits. However, House Wolford claims to have no intention of blindly following these orders. They seek to parley, that we might together find a way to prevent the fall of the three high houses.
How will you respond, my lord?
How indeed. The Wolfords handed over His Highness to save their own hides, hardly an act that warrants our trust. That said, their desire to avoid bloodshed is no doubt sincere, if only to buy time to lick their wounds. And somehow, I suspect there may be more to this stratagem of theirs.
My lord, then you...
I shall grant them audience. Pen the reply.
At once, my lord.
Prince Roland has passed his decree. The complete decimation of House Fawkes is the order of the day. A chilling command, which would see one of Glenbrook's three high houses reduced to bloody rubble. Though penned in the prince's hand, the order was not his own. Forcing his hand was Archduke Gustadolf, a specter over his shoulders until the ink had dried. House Wolford is given the command to uproot their erstwhile countrymen, and with heavy hearts, they march. However, the young Serenoa bears hope. Hope that bloodshed can be stopped. Hope that Lord Landroy can be convinced to see reason. Hope that the day is not far off when the realm will know peace again.
Oh, the Wolfords have been ordered to bring down House Fawkes, you say?
It would appear so. They entreat us for arms and provisions for the battle ahead.
A request we will deny, of course. I leave it to you to concoct a convincing reason.
Consider it done.
I do believe this little conflict between countrymen will play to our benefit. No doubt Landroy will spare no effort as he makes his last stand. Our day draws near, Booker, and we must make every preparation for its arrival.
And so it shall be.
Interesting to have Anna as the highest level member.
The Falklands truly are the jewel of Glenbrook.
Aye. I don't see Landroy giving him up easily, even if it comes to war.
And that is why we will not simply give them up. We shall negotiate such that benefits may be reaped by all parties. Lord Landroy first among them. He is a reasonable man, yes?
That he is, my lord. But we cannot hope to make him see reason if we cannot speak to him face to face.
Oh, we get to do some exploration. Should negotiations fail, we will find ourselves fighting on their terms. I must have a strategy at the ready. Behold the lifts over there, my lord. Typically, they are employed by those who work the land, yet I believe they might also serve us in battle. Should it come to that, we should not hesitate to take advantage of the terrain. It might behoove us to survey the land before Lord Landroy arrives. First I lose Prince Roland, now I must turn my blade against my countrymen. Not just countrymen, but House Falks, loyal retainers of the crown. I only hope we can resolve this with words alone. There's nothing we gain from a fight between our houses. I hope to be instant that opportunity lies before us. Yes. If our two houses work together, we might be able to strike back at Esfrost. Please, Lord Serenoi, you must convince Lord Landroy to see reason. Beautiful fields like these don't just sprout up overnight. It takes hard work. See why Lord Landroy's subjects are so loyal to him. Lord Landroy is a man possessed of fierce loyalty. What would he do with this land were worst come to worst? Lord Landroy is a warrior through and through. If it came down to it, I know he'd fight until his last breath. But he's also got a heart of gold. I doubt he'd go so far as to sacrifice his land or his people for any reason. Don't go forgetting that he values honor and loyalty more than most. You do well not to let your guard down. Thank you, Eridor. I'll try my best to see that we resolve this matter peacefully. Wonderful fields they have here. I wish not to tarnish this beautiful land in a fight. What does this guy say? He's supposed to value freedom more than anything. Unfortunately, All that means is the powerful rise to the top and the weak are crushed under their iron boot. That is true. I mean, when taken to the extreme, of course. This used to be the site of a great fort many years ago. That's why the grounds are terraced like this. Grandpa told me so. Yeah, even the small spark can set these fields ablaze now. You must needs tread carefully. Okay, say the same thing. Ice stone. Lots of ice stones. Maybe one of those merchants sells a metal. I'll have to take a look. Tend to fire emil it. Alright, what do you got? Ranged ice stone. I just assume that means you can... We got more range on them, obviously. Meaning you could probably throw them farther, I assume? Or maybe they have a bigger, like, explosion radius? I should be doing this too, actually. I need to upgrade. That's what I should do. Accuracy, evasion, or speed ring. These all look kind of good. Inspect mechanism in town. Convenient device indeed. Didn't I use this gets to jump on our foe? Yep. Reload this one. It still says to inspect the mechanisms. Fudge. So this one doesn't work? Alright. No, I think we should go to our encampment. See what we can upgrade. Does this guy even have any medals? Nope. Yes, upgrades available. Let's buy some more of this. Buy quality stuff now. quality iron. Buy some timber. Alright, let's see what we can upgrade now. We're able to upgrade quite a bit. Use silver to upgrade weapon. Oh. We can upgrade Serenoa. We need leather for her. I think we should upgrade. They probably want you to upgrade Serenoa. Probably should do him. Okay, we got quality iron. Yeah, let's do that. We need 10 iron. We want to upgrade Frederica. Magic defense, physical defense. I wish we could increase her speed. I guess we have to use a ring for that, though. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do that. Stone or iron. I don't really feel the need to upgrade her speed, as she's already pretty fast. Her physical defense, we can just use take cover, really, to prevent her from taking much damage, really. Let's just go with accuracy, I guess. Increase ice spell or increase fire damage. Well, all I see for what he has right now is wind and ice. Let's go with ice. There. Looks like we did all the upgrading we could at this point. How much money do we have left? Oh, we still have a little bit left. Yeah, where are we sitting at? We don't have any timber. Let's get a couple of timber. Don't have any more stone. Let's get a couple more stone. Can we upgrade more now? Stone and iron. To increase his defense. Okay. I think we can still buy some more of that. Wait, what the heck is this? Dropping spoils when defeated. I want that. What the heck? I didn't even see that. Sure it has a... Oh, these are just resistances to elements. Okay. I forget what it was we needed. I think it was iron and stone. Yeah. Increase his defense. There. Alright. Man, I want to save up for that gold pinky ring. I should have gotten that right away. Oh well. I didn't even notice it was there. Alright, I think we're done exploring here too.
As Frosty forces muster at the border, they're preparing to advance.
Esfrost, what treachery is this?
While we were preparing for the parley, they snuck up on us unawares. What shall we do, my lord?
So the Wolford dogs have already learned some tricks from their new master, eh?
We await your command, my lord.
Split our forces in two. Send one regiment to the border. I shall lead the other to meet House Wolford in the field.
Aye, my lord.
We'll defend King Regna's gift until the last of us falls. The history shall know that House Fox did not bend the knee.
Man. Now who do we side with? I would like to side against Esfrost, but...
Enough of your schemes, you traitorous dog.
Lord Landroy, what is the meaning of this?
His arrow's already knocked. What happened to manners, old friend?
You'd like that, wouldn't you? For me to give you a hearty embrace while Esfrost cuts me down from behind. Ha! A shameful scheme befitting the cowards who abandoned our prince.
Are you mad? We haven't a clue what Esfrost is scheming.
Lies. I'll listen to the slithering of snakes no further.
We've been swindled. Gustadolf meant to force this battle from the start. Damn it all.
Ash in the wind?
Smoke from the village. The houses burn!
What madness is this, Landroy? You would set your own home ablaze?
And what would you have me do with it? Leave it for Esfrost to pillage and plunder? The only thing those bastards will get from me is an arrow through the eye.
They set their arrows alight!
Landroy, no! There must be another way.
Okay then.
There is no other way, boy. Your treachery
That's why we
saw
need to get
that.
some ice to get rid of the flames.
It will
I
not
see
be
now.
long ere I stand by your side again.
He leaves us no recourse. Swords!
Okay. Clear and breezy. Yeah, battle overview. Lifts. The green panels indicate the location of the lifts. The rope will go blue when a lift can be used, and the upset area will become selectable. Keep in mind that the lift cannot be used when there are enemies in the upset area. Okay. Ow, who should I take with us? Seems he's recommended. Guess we can get rid of Benedict Bond.
I'll do my best.
These other characters, I think I will. I could switch out Rudolph for Asabara. I don't know. Nah, we'll keep Rudolph.
Can do.
Really kind of liking Hasabara though. Sure, I'll go with her. Why not? Hasabara.
You got it.
Save the game and get it over with. Display one more unit. What? Oh, okay. I thought I could. Wait, no, I can't. What the heck?
I'm on it.
Oh, what do you know? Where is... Ah, there we go. Okay. Who should I put over there, though? Got barricades. I feel like I should set somebody else over there. Maybe you. And you. There. There. Maybe there. I think I have a plan here. Maybe if this worked out like I think it's gonna work out. I want to have him build like a ladder up here because I'm pretty sure we can't get up, and then that'll give us easier access to the lifts. That's what I'm gonna try to do. So that's why I'm kind of moving everybody over here. She should be able to just fly up there anyways. see how well that works out for me. Let's go. Android's last stand. Here we go.
Burn those traitorous Wolford curs to a crisp. If you must raise the land itself, then so be it.
Yes, my lord. She'll turn this place into a blazing inferno. We'll be blind on the battlefield.
Come, show us what stuff cowards are made of.
Time to work.
She can actually get up there. Ooh, nice. That looks like that's going to be as best we can, yeah.
It's over.
Here we go. Fire arrows.
This battle is ours.
And I missed.
Come on, then.
Whack.
I'm old, not a pushover.
On the honor of the high houses!
Uh-oh.
Together with these fields, today you burn. Take this!
From where shall we strike?
Ah. He is not moving as quick as I'd like him to, unfortunately. I still think it'll be best for us to just wait. Oh. Wait a minute, if we hawk dive that, will that get us up there? Let's give it a try. Nope. Alright.
To lead, I must grow.
Let's go then.
Okay. Pew pew.
Aim and fire! Not bad at all.
And thrill of the hunt. Oh, here we go, fire arrow.
I hope you're watching, Grandfather. I'll make you proud, Grandfather.
So it comes to battle.
Here we go. Ladder.
This should do it.
There we go.
Cool heads shall prevail.
Guess she still can't get over there. There should be haste. Haste Anna.
Go quick. You have my thanks.
One step closer to our hope.
I've been waiting for this.
Okay, let's finish this guy off. We won't finish him off, but
Come on!
bam.
Got something up my sleeve.
Let me show you what I've learned.
We could burn this place
With the
down by
powers in
ourselves.
me.
We must tread carefully.
Surrounding and do. Move to an adjacent square with a height difference within 15 units. Okay.
Ha! Victory is within reach. Ha! Victory is within reach.
I feel stronger already.
Oh boy. I'm gonna get out of this fire.
Kingdom! Have at you! You get what you deserve!
We mustn't let our guard down. The winds of change
That
are
is
blowing.
stitching arrow. Interesting.
Come on then.
Yeah, I guess we can just attack him.
Would you look at that?
From where shall we strike?
At least we can get out of here. Die. Oh no.
To work.
Can't finish the. Oh, I can't even hit him. Too high up. Finish this. Actually, you know what? Let's go here. Can we? He's still. Let's just finish this guy off.
Gotcha.
And we missed.
I hope you're watching, Grandfather.
Out of a fire there.
Shall we begin?
Yeah, I'll start curing here.
Your wounds are healed. I needed that.
So it comes to battle.
What does Spring Trap do? So a trap on a select square and enemy steps in will be knocked back by squares. Interesting. just have him come over here and attack this guy. Wow.
There's more yet to learn.
I will end this.
You know, if we, wait, we can attack him first. And then move.
Forgive me! We will make our ideals reality.
There. Oh, we've been hurt just running through the flames. That makes sense.
Come at me!
Yeah, finish him off.
Time to die!
I need a healer.
Can't we use the lift?
I'll take this. Into the shadows.
Just want to wait and see.
For our kingdom! Take this! Long live the king!
The hunt is on.
Try to keep out of the flames. What is this shadow stitching arrow do? It's to immobilize them for 2 turns. Okay. Doesn't seem like I can shoot anybody here, though. See, we're taking the... I don't know if I want to do that either. She's hurt. She needs to get healed. We'll just keep her there.
Now it's my turn.
Okay. If I cleave this, I can get rid of that barricade.
What a pain.
Defeat is not an option.
Sure. I have a feeling Cyrano is gonna get
Wait your turn.
owned, but
If you persist in this, we will fight over naught but ashes. What is the meaning of this madness, Landroid? Is this the legacy you wish to leave behind?
My legacy. This land was entrusted to me by King Regna. Its fields, its creatures, its people. My charges, all. I will not surrender his gift into Esfrost's clutches. I shall prove that his faith in me was true.
You've burnt the fields, driven its creatures away, and left your people without a home. How does such destruction honor King Regna's faith?
It's a damn sight better than toadying to his murderers. I'll not hear his majesty's name invoked by a traitor. House Fox will not have its name sullied by Esfrost's lapdog.
Lord Landroid, pray listen to reason. There is still a road to peace.
Peace was forfeit the moment you bent the knee to that Esfrosty tyrant.
He's not having any of it. Alright, we're gonna need to heal her.
We doing this?
Watch you miss.
I strike true!
Oh, I got him.
I hope you're watching, Grandfather.
Alrighty, here. We're out of... We should be able to still do this. We still have 1 point. Oh, what the heck.
Cool heads shall prevail.
Sure.
Your wounds are healed.
Thank you. Allow me.
Flame shield, sure. Sounds like a good idea.
Let me help.
I must remain calm.
I've been waiting for this.
What does Ramfo do? Sure. Nice. Oh, I still didn't finish him off. Alright, here we go. And his turn. If we do this, we should be able to trigger the double strike, right? Hopefully.
Allow me.
Yep. Good.
Too slow.
Allow me.
You've left yourself open.
Time to take flight.
Let's immobilize them for 2 turns. Might not be a bad idea. From here. What is the chance of this working? It says 100%.
Try this. Victory is ours.
Oh, it worked. Now he's stuck.
Bit of a bind, this.
Sure is. I don't want to finish this guy off. Whack.
This might sting some.
For the honor of House Wolford.
Wait, if we delay he's acting next, but he's not gonna be able to move. He can still attack other people though. Just delay him.
Together.
To lead, I must throw.
Should we keep him there? Sure.
We doing this?
Come on, take him out.
That's it.
I have to do something.
Alright, use Sanctuary.
It's not over yet.
You're a lifesaver.
Leave him there. Actually, no, let's let him get up there and get that item there.
Cool heads shall prevail.
That hit the mark!
Knowledge is strength.
It's time. I'll show you what I can do.
We're making our way through this level pretty quickly. Ooh, I need to go over and get that other item. He's resistant, but we're still gonna get him. Let's do it.
With the powers in me.
We're whittling them down.
An underhanded trick.
Wow! What the heck?
Time to work.
Alright, time to finish him. Throw poison? I'll just dagger him.
Allow me. Sound strike. Sound strike.
Good. Finished him off.
Your Majesty, know that I served you true until the end.
We should still be able to fight the other guys though, right? Yep.
Come at me!
Okay.
Time to die!
This battle is ours.
Means if we use spell swoop.
What would Father do?
This ends here!
We doing this?
%. Alright, let's go for it.
Gotcha.
Feisty, aren't we?
We can't get up there. Oh, she can go down and get that item now.
Close, but not quite.
I'll show you what I can do.
Guess I used my too much of my TP.
Let me heal your wounds.
Yeah, we need to get up there and heal.
Be at ease.
Time to work.
Actually, if we go in front, do a double attack.
You've left yourself open.
You won't catch me.
I must remain calm.
We really don't need to place these anywhere right now, but might as well.
Work.
Get some experience.
Let me show you what I've learned.
Frederica needs to heal up too.
I've been waiting for this. You're done.
Victory! Kudos is not bad. Oh, we got another Medal of Bravery and another silver. I know who that's going to. Anna. Now we're gonna get to upgrade our guys. Ugh. This is getting exciting. 2 people we're gonna be upgrading. Cyrano and Anna. Or no.
It's
Frederica
over.
and Anna.
We've won.
Maybe Frederica and... Yeah, no. Frederica and Anna.
And what have we won? Landroy has seen to it that nothing shall escape these flames. What victory can be had over ashes?
My lord.
So this is how it ends.
It would seem the townsfolk evacuated before the battle.
Landroy's doing, no doubt.
War is a miserable sight, no matter who your foe. But when that foe is your own countryman.
Are these the wages of loyalty? Raised earth and burnt corpses.
Let us return. We are done here.
Atop what remains of Glenbrook's former high houses, Gustadolf lays the foundation for his new dominion. With the taste of bitter victory still in their mouths, the members of House Walfort await with heavy hearts the trials the morrow is sure to bring.
Thought you'd be here. Tell it true. Do you really reckon we can best Gustadolf?
Victory will not come easily, this is for sure. We have a chance, however, and we must needs take it.
You've always had a fire in your eyes, Benedict. It's heartening indeed.
'Tis not easy to keep hope, but keep it we must. We cannot submit quietly to an inglorious fate. My duty is to House Wolford, first and foremost, and I would be remiss if I were to think otherwise.
Interesting. I wonder if Benedict was in love with Serenola's mother. Kind of makes sense with what he's doing, like doing everything he can to protect Serenola.
The recent days have seen rising lawlessness near the border. Doubtless the consequence of the
Hey,
instability in Glenbrook.
Indeed.
Not too much.
Lord Sfaragai.
Just having a chill Sunday evening playing Triangle Strategy.
Forgive me.
It's a good game.
I forgive myself,
I've enjoyed
my
it
lord.
a lot so far.
It's too late for that. Out with it.
My lord, the bulk of our forces are occupied abroad, leaving only scant numbers at home. The longer this campaign continues, the more fraught the situation within our borders becomes.
Your concern is duly noted, Sycris. Rest assured that the Archduke is not ignorant to such issues. And besides, strength of arms is not the only means by which order is maintained. The time has come to gird our nation with fire and steel.
Hope you're having a
Fire
good
and steel,
day
my
today.
lord.
Yes, we shall fulfill our duty at last.
Alright, we're gonna finally be able to upgrade. Yeah, let's do that. Encampments. So I'm assuming this is where we go to promote. Oh, so what do you got? Anything interesting? Nope. Not yet. Alright, let's promote. We're going to do Frederica. From Pyromancer into a Firecaster. Ooh, pretty.
I hope I did not disappoint.
An ability Fire Eater. That does. Alright. Looks like we can upgrade one more time. And we're going to do Anna. Serenol is probably going to be our next one we get.
I must be ever ready.
Alright, and we're actually going to upgrade on this weapon. Ooh, can upgrade her weapon. We still haven't found any leather yet. We've already upgraded his weapon too. Yeah, let's do Anna then. Oh! We have enough for that ring too. I can't forget about that. It's 5,000. Alright. Gold and pink earring. Increase the chances of enemies dropping spoils when defeated. So, since it's a ring, somebody has to wear it. So does that mean only the person who's attacked, like somebody who's defeated them, has a chance? So does this mean everybody that Anna defeats has a chance of dropping spoils, or is it all enemies on the map? I would think it would be just people Anna has disposed of. We have no more money left. But I think that was worth it. I wanted that ring. We should probably have another one of these unlocked. Nope, not yet. Kind of thinking we still might want to do this one again for money. But I'm wondering if that's just a one-time thing. Guess we can find out. I kind of want to see what these new classes, how strong they are too. Who do we want? These characters that we got are good. Yeah. Okay. Want you here? Let's just push all these guys to the front. Why not? I think we're strong enough to handle it. But we'll save just in case.
Time to work. You won't catch me.
The hunt is on.
Fell swoop won't even one shot him. Alright, we'll just hit him with an arrow from here then.
Leave everything to me.
That'll finish him off.
What a pain. Well, congratulations are in order.
Forward!
Who should we get? You or you? This guy's gonna act first. Chop the
This ends here.
You're open.
Oh, I'm still in cover. That's neat. Good to know that. And the golden pinky ring activated. Nice.
Let's go then.
You're done for!
Thrill of the hunt. I think he also makes enemies drop things.
I'll take you on! To victory!
I should have had him pick up that item there. I forgot that was there.
I hope you're watching, Grandfather.
What happens if I do this? This'll be better.
Shall we begin?
Sure.
For one and all.
Thank you.
Whoa!
Allow me.
Oh, my cover is broken. What does Fire Eater do? Grant an ally the ability to absorb fire for 3 turns. Okay. But isn't that what, like, Flame Shield does? Well, maybe absorb means that they'll heal you instead. Alright, let's Scorch.
2 ashes.
We gotta start picking up these items.
Your orders?
Hello, me.
We doing this?
That up. Finish him off.
Gotcha.
Time to take flight.
Pick that up.
Leave everything to me.
No idea what that's gonna do.
Ain't over yet.
My
Just heals him.
Defeat is not an option.
Grab that. Can't be passing up these items.
Come at me.
Shall we begin?
I fight for peace. Be one with the flames. For a better world.
Let's go then.
Nobody close enough yet to get that other item.
My turn.
The hunt is on.
Over there. There we go, finally.
Now it's my turn.
Alright, we got him cornered. Bam!
Your luck is ready. We breached their defense. Time for some sorcery.
Bop.
Say goodbye.
Oh, we learned Spark. Finally, we got some lightning magic. That's the first lightning spell I bet we've gotten. So if we put down ice, then melt it with fire, and then use lightning, that'll be helpful. Oh, look at that. It does let us... We still got enough coin and quality fiber. That's actually a really good battle to grind on. You gotta remember that. Okay. Let's save. Actually, can we upgrade anything? I don't think so. Not really. I guess we should be free to use iron. I don't want to save it for other characters, though. on to the next battle. Cordelia. Or is that Prince Roland? Oh, no,
Cordelia,
it's Roland.
what's wrong?
Brother,
Calm yourself. Take a deep breath. Now, tell me what happened.
I heard them talking. I wasn't supposed to, but I heard them. Thallus and... Oh, Roland. The Archduke. He means to order your execution.
I figured they were gonna do that. Didn't I say that? I said that. Is they're gonna use Cordelia instead.
Grave news, my lord. Prince Roland is to be beheaded at the Archduke's decree.
Are we gonna be able to save him now?
What? On what grounds?
For inciting unrest by ordering the invasion of the Falk's domain.
The gall of that man!
I'm getting sick of playing right into
Wolford
as
has
Frosty
been
Hands here.
invited to attend the execution. Our presence is mandatory.
I feel like if we didn't hand Prince Roland
it
over,
is.
we wouldn't have done that.
Do you mean to go?
We dare not disobey the summons. The consequences would almost certainly be dire.
Are we just dogs to answer his beck and call?
My lady. Please, I understand. But we have no choice.
I know this, and I apologize. It's just that there are things we must protect. Things I must protect. Lest we lose what makes us human.
News of Prince Roland's coming execution is carried far and wide. In the blink of an eye, the kingdom of Glenbrook is no more. The realm reels from the tragic turn of events. Prince Roland's death marks an uncertain change in the flow of history. A change which none in the Old Kingdom have the power to reverse. However, the eruption of conflict in the region does not go unnoticed by its neighbors. In the holy state of Hyzant, opportunistic hearts stir.
My dearest friend has been sentenced to die, and there is naught I can do. What use is a lord's position if he can't even save those closest to him?
Serenoa, you mustn't.
Is it true? Another ravenous dog is stirring?
It is. We face none other than Minister Sorsley End, one of the Saintly Seven. It seems he means to take our domain for his own.
House End? Their position in Hyzant has been in decline for some time.
Doubtless, Sorsley means to use the Walford domain to bolster his flagging influence.
My lord, our soldiers have had scarce little time to rest since our last battle. I fear for their morale if they were forced to take the field against Hyzant.
Is there naught we can do?
We have sent requests for aid to House End more than once, my lord. However, our pleas have always fallen on deaf ears. Doubtless Sorsley has been biding his time to strike.
Then it is too late for words. There must be something we can do to avoid straining our already ragged forces.
There is, my lord. However...
I dread the words that follow however when they come from you.
Let us ask the Archduke for assistance.
Are you mad, Benedict?
We must needs focus on the matter in front of us. If we weather this storm, we may see that it has unearthed unseen opportunities. However, if we let Sorslay's advance continue unabated, I'm afraid retreat may be our only option.
You are right, as usual. Very well. Ready a bird.
Wait, what? We have 2 main quests? I've never seen that before.
Your Excellency, our troops have boarded and are awaiting your orders.
Good. Stand by until I give the order to depart. We make for the Wolfort domain. Upon the foundations of their keep, we shall build the glory of House End. Tell the troops, they shall be well rewarded for their feats of bravery this day.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Well, which one should I do? Oh, let's just try this one. I imagine we'll be able to do both. Hope.
Recent events have not quelled your desire for knowledge, I see. You make your teacher very happy, Frederica.
It is progress that I can see. I enjoy the growth that comes with learning.
And you should be proud.
Sheila, why do you think my brother attacked Glenbrook?
War is a means to an end, always. The question is, what end does he hope to arrive at?
But what could he hope to gain by razing the castle? I can see no point to his cruelty.
There is always a point, Frederica. As for whether others agree with that reasoning, well, oftentimes that doesn't matter.
How dreadful. Why must it come to arms? Why can't we settle our differences with words?
So long as men covet, there will be war. That fact is immutable.
Then war will continue forever, so long as man exists. Isn't that what you're saying?
Indeed. History has attested to that fact time and again.
What could there possibly be in this world worth risking life and limb for? I cannot fathom the answer.
And 'tis not a question you should trouble yourself with answering, Frederica.
Alright. Yeah, looks like we can do the other one now.
I see House End has raised their banners. I can practically smell their greed from here. Doubtless that slug Sorsley is licking his lips even now.
I did not think House Wolfort would deign to request aid.
They surprise even me. Has the young wolf learned to swallow his pride?
What should we do, Your Grace?
We cannot very well be seen to ignore those under our protection. Go.
And what of Prince Roland?
That shall have to wait. We may have use for him yet.
And so did the two forces converge on the Wolfort domain, now the linchpin of the Norzellian continent. From the west, General of Laura leads the might of the Grand Duchy of Esfrost. From the east, Sorsley End of the Saintly Seven commands an army from the holy state of Hyzant. From within the heart of this maelstrom, one man strives to find the path that will see the house he serves safely through the storm. Benedict Pascal, steward of House Wolfort, wise in war and peace alike, contemplates what to do next.
He is a tactician, that's right.
Release his fetters.
Yes, Your Grace.
You look well, my prince.
What are you doing here?
I bring good tidings. Your execution has been stayed. And I have a request to make of you.
What? What have you not already taken from me?
The good tidings did not end with a lease on life, my prince. I mean to marry your sister.
What?
However,
I knew
fear
it.
that without
I called
your
it.
assistance, she may not be entirely amenable to the arrangement.
Has your ambition driven you mad? I'll hang before I see you wed.
I had feared you might say that. In the days ahead, do remember that at first I attempted a diplomatic approach.
You bastard!
Alright. Looks like we're gonna use the scales again here.
Anna, a report on our current situation, if you will.
Yes, sir. Both Esfrost and Hyzant have mustered armies and are drawing upon Castle Wolfort as we speak. Given the sudden military action, Prince Roland's execution
It's
has
kind of
been
interesting. They don't have a portrait of the character by like their speech bubbles, but they kind of do in the fact that you can go to
Thank
the
you, Anna.
profile.
We have much to consider.
So,
Indeed, our situation may be grim, but there is opportunity in chaos. However, we have scarce little time to find it.
it's
What
an
are you
interesting
thinking
way
about
to do it.
Are we to seriously consider fighting under Esfrost's banners?
The time that House Wolfort could stand alone ended with the Salt Iron War. There is no future for us if we do not cast our lot with a greater nation. However, we at least have the freedom of choice.
Choice? What choice do we have?
I see. You had an ulterior motive to requesting aid from Esfrost.
Just so, we could offer Hyzant a glorious victory.
the Archduke's army would be caught off guard. Are you certain Hyzant would offer us asylum?
Most certainly. House End would be eager to bolster their flagging reputation by defeating Esfrost in the field. Doubtless, both nations view us as prey on its last legs. They forget that a cornered wolf is the most dangerous.
And both of them against each other.
Consider allying with Esfrost as well.
If that
I mean, we
is
could
what
ally
we
with either
decide,
one.
then so be it. So long as we decide. Esfrost did not ignite the fires of war lightly. They prepared for 30 years. Even so, they would only have acted if they had confidence in their chances at victory.
Do you believe Esfrost's ambition could swallow even Hyzant?
That ain't the point. After what those bastards did, I can't well say I savored the thought of fighting under them. Couldn't look at myself in the mirror, in fact.
Nothing would be more shameful than failing our duty to our house.
So we have to decide then. Esfrost or Hyzant?
Neither force has the upper hand. Our choice will surely guide the tide of battle.
Very well. Then let us consult the scales.
We will fight beside Esfrost or Hyzant. Ask the others what they think. Let me guess, Frederica is going to be for Hyzant. We have two undecided. Yeah, Frederica is conspire with Cersei and launches a surprise attack on Esfrost. If Esfrost aid and fights Cersei. Well, let's explore a bit. First, Esfrost and Hyzant. What does he want with House Wolfort? I thought we were allies. Arzelia was meant to know true peace. We even held a celebration for a new mining venture. Don't they have any shame? Domain occupies a very strategic position between the other nations. It's only natural for them to want it. We will use those selfish desires against them. This last one. I see. If the two nations clashed here, then we can be the ones who decide who is victorious. We use our knowledge of the land, we can hit them where it hurts most. Yeah, we still have those traps and stuff. It never ceases to amaze me, my lord. The strategy could turn us from the hunted to the hunters. Our hosts must stand together. Now more than ever, I'm counting on you. So glad Prince Roland's execution has been stayed. Still, I cannot help but wonder how he fares in the enemy's hands. I wish I could help him, but we turn him over to protect our domain. We must keep pushing forward. I didn't want to hand him over, but everybody else did. Alright. Can we leave? Doesn't look like we can. I think we should attack Esfrost. I don't know. Is that the lesser of two evils? If it will help us get Roland back, I think it might be a good idea. And plus, I kind of want to side with Frederica. Alright.
I think...
My knowledge of both nations has caused me quite the dilemma. While I'm concerned about fighting alongside the Kleinish Holy State, I cannot bring myself to put my faith in the Duchy either. What are your thoughts, Lord Serenoa? Let's cast our lot with Cersei and bring Aspharos to heal. Oh boy. Our relations with Aspharos are currently stable. I wonder if the benefits of allying with Hyzen are worth destroying that. Butterluck's talking to Stonewall, huh? That's two that's against me, that I probably won't be able to convince. Oh, we can try. Seems that you and I are not of the same mind, Lord Sentinel. I ask your reasons. Oh, there's one we haven't unlocked. Oh no. And overall, and I noticed a change in Aspharos. Not a good thing, but a good one. Things only get worse from here on out. Sure.
Yes.
In the Faltzman, it was a serious blow to our forces indeed. It's clear that they aim to weaken us. I suppose we do not need an ally like that. Who else? You.
Lord Serenoa.
I agree with Eridora. I don't want to be allies with Aspharos. Siding with Hyzen now is tantamount to betrayal, and who would dare trust such loyal warriors after that? I wonder if others would agree. Better luck talking to Stonewall. Oh my goodness. This isn't gonna go my way, is it? I can try. I see. You're telling me, Lord. What makes you so sure we should ally with Hyzen? Yeah, the prince. Roland will forever remain Duchy's prisoner should we stay on their side.
Good point.
You haven't given up on Prince Roland, have you? I'm sorry, we were all bound by the tipping of the scales. But things have changed. As both friend and vassal, I want to save Roland. I must. Thank you, Lord Serenoa. With Hyzen at our backs, we may even be able to negotiate Prince Roland's release. Lord Serenoa, is there anything else I should consider? Perhaps it would help me gain more insight into where my token should land. Aspharos' guiding principle. I cannot imagine what would become of us should we stand by Aspharos and lose the battle to Hyzen. The Duchy values might above all. If they saw that we would avail them nothing, they would not hesitate to dispose of both of us and Prince Roland. Regardless, Lord Serenoa, should you be worrying about losing before the battle has even begun? Finding the best path forward will be difficult with all those thoughts clouding your mind. We tried.
We must.
Each nation has its strengths and weaknesses. We must carefully consider which would be best serve us in a battle. I wonder what the others might be thinking. And bring Aspharos to heal. So you suggest we join forces with Hyzen? I must admit, I'm curious as to your reasons, my lord. Another locked. Oh man. The Holy State is the wealthiest nation in Roselia. As such, the bountiful aid they could supply would be second to none. That's a good one. This course is a spore. There is no telling whether their past may reveal themselves before us then. I like this one. There's no denying that the fortune of Hyzen has amassed because of their monopoly over salt. I must admit that even I have considered allying with them for this very reason. One must have ample riches to fund their forces, and would very well be able to fight back the Duchy with their support. Only one more question, my lord. What are your thoughts on Aspharos? Their guiding principle. House Wolfwood stands for justice. As such, I simply cannot accept Aspharos to rule where might is right. You prove time and again you are worthy to lead our house. I'm sure Lord Simone would agree. Oh yeah, he's still not dead yet. Each of us has pride as a member of House Wolford. We cannot
Quite
remain on the
true.
defensive forever if we wish to display our own house's might. And Gila is the last.
I think. In that
So you
case,
prefer to fight alongside Hyzant, not inquires to why. I do not think our situation improves so long as we bend the knee to express. I guess that's the only one we got. See, I did not think the Archduke's cunning to extend so far. Perhaps Frederica's engagement is just a means of putting House Wolfort within reach. Is there anything else on your mind, my lord? I don't know what sort of treatment Roland has been subjected to. I wish to rescue him at the soonest opportunity.
I wonder about that.
We knew there was no guarantee of his safety when we handed him over to Asprast. I fear it's too late for us to be saying things like that, Lord Cyrano. Whether we like it or not, Prince Roland is no longer with us, so our choices should not hinge on him. Do you not agree? That's all we got. Time to cast our votes.
Serenoa.
I don't need to persuade her.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we join forces with the army of Esfrost, or do we choose to side with Hyzant? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I stand with you, my lord.
Well, that's one vote for us. 2 votes.
You aren't wrong, but
I think she's still against us.
My apologies.
She is still against us, so it's 2-2.
Please forgive me.
This does not mean I do not have faith in you, Lord Sorno, but... Oh, that's 3 against us. What happens if it's a tie, though?
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Do we get the tie-breaking vote, I wonder? Yeah, it's even. Now what?
Equal votes for all sides. As such, the Lord of the House will render the final decision.
I do get to choose. Yeah, I guess. Let's cast our Lord in with Sorcery.
The way forward is decided. We ally with the holy state of Hyzant and decimate the Esfrosti forces.
I really kind of truly feel like there's almost no... I don't know. Is there like no right or wrong answer here?
The road forward is decided. We fight for Hyzant and crush Esfrost's forces.
I shall send word to Minister Sorcery at once to arrange a parley and discuss strategy.
I'll send word to the guards to shut the gates and tighten their patrols.
Thank you. Then let us attend to our duties.
I pray Minister Sorcery will hear
I'm
us
doing
out.
this to save Roland as
From
best we can.
distant parapets, even the greatest armies appear benign. Let us hope Sorcery
I don't
becomes
know.
more amenable to an alliance
Doing this
with
could
the full
endanger his
reckoning
life
of
too, though, I
Esfrost's
feel.
power.
I mean, if they feel that, you know, if Esperos feels like they're cornered.
Regardless, I sense a hard fight on the horizon.
Maybe siding with Esperos is the only way to keep him safe, you know?
Minister Sorsley, leading the forces of the Holy State of Hyzant, advances into the Wolfort domain. The once proud house has found themselves shorn of the freedom they held so dear, and trapped between two nations bent on expansion. Their only hope of survival is to cast their lot with one of their would-be adversaries. Serenoa chooses to side with Hyzant, crafting a plot to betray General Avlora and drive the army of Esfrost from his home. The road ahead is precarious,
we're still
and a
not.
single misstep could spell the end of House Wolfort.
I mean, General Avlora
and
is
all who
really
serve
tough.
it.
We may still not even win. Yikes.
So we're to seek reprieve from Hyzant, the same nation under which my mother and her people were branded heretics and endured untold suffering.
I understand your hesitation in fighting by their side, Frederica.
Wait, she's wanted to fight by
There's no
their
other
side.
way.
Ugh.
You needn't take the field if you wish.
Nonsense. I am a Wolfort now. I will fight.
As you wish.
Gila, tell us what you know about this Minister Sorsley.
Sorsley is one of the Saintly Seven. He oversees the salt harvest at the source and the Roselle that work there. His authority over Hyzant's salt gives him great influence, but many whisper of his petty and jealous nature behind his back.
So he's got the resources to put up a fight then, eh?
And he has been preparing for this moment. We can expect his forces to be well provisioned and well trained.
Do not think he will be easily swayed. The Saintly Seven are not known for heeding the pleas of common men.
Then we shall have to distinguish ourselves from common men.
Surely he will see that he only stands to benefit from joining our forces. It is the only way to guarantee Esfrost's defeat. The future of House Wolfort will hinge on the hours to come. May we all arrive at the end of them safely.
House Wolfort shall persevere.
My lord, we've received word from General Avlora. She plans to meet the enemy army at the docks. She asked that we meet her there at once to hold a war council.
Then let us not keep her waiting.
Ooh, the character stories.
How fortunate this humble merchant is to look upon such beauty. Nothing would do Lionel greater honor than to see his powders and perfumes adorn your divine visages. Such honor, in fact, that he is willing to part with them for practically nothing at all.
We haven't even coined for salt, let alone vanity.
Mines are not but your ledgers. You peddlers disgust me.
Well met, brave protectors of the realm. Lionel has brought everything a hero needs and more. Every item has undergone meticulous testing to ensure that they will serve you well on the battlefield.
Out of our way, junkmonger. We've important duties to attend to.
How rude! Where are the smiles and open coin purses the people used to greet Lionel with? Oh, perhaps Lionel should take his goods elsewhere. War has made this place disagreeable. However, it is the perfect opportunity for the shrewd trader to amass his fortune. And Lionel is shrewd, if nothing else.
My lord, that merchant who peddles his wares in our encampment has requested an audience.
Yes. Let him come forth.
You do Lionel a great honor, my lord. A great honor. That he can count House Wolford among his loyal patrons has ever been a source of pride.
Yes. Right. What brings you before me today?
As my lord is doubtless already aware, war places a heavy burden on the treasury. A burden that only grows heavier as time drags on. However, a skilled negotiator can see his coffers even fuller at war's end than they were at its beginning. If he may be so bold, Lionel would offer his services in that very capacity. He understands your precarious position, trapped between two ravenous wolves. In such times, one can never have enough coin and resources to stave off what may come. Surely you agree?
Your words have merit, and you have always been honest in your dealings with my house. I see no reason not to welcome you into our ranks.
Splendid! You are as wise as they say. Wiser, even. Lionel shall not disappoint. Just the opposite, in fact. From this day until his very last, he shall stake his honor on the prosperity of your house. And if his own coin purse should grow fat in the process, who could blame him?
Infuriate foes or tempt them into defecting. Interesting. Collects an extra bit of coin along with spoils. Alright. I wonder if we would be getting different characters if we'd sided with Esfrost. Halls of Heisen's Ministry menacing a young apothecary worries with beta per patients.
It's an emergency. We have 2 patients. Both with extraordinary fevers. The Rosellan is unresponsive.
Well, I can't tend to both unless you can give me 2 more pairs of arms.
Let me help. I've just completed my training and I'll do whatever it takes to save them.
Are there no real doctors left? Fine. Come. We're losing precious time.
Leave the Rosellan. We must prioritize the believer.
As you wish.
but the Rosellan will die unless we do something.
Do they not teach the order of things in school these days?
So what if they do? What does the order of things have to do with saving lives?
Not all lives are weighted the same. You would do well to remember that.
Quickly, Medina, these people are dying as we bicker.
I couldn't save him. Orders or not, I was the one following them. It's all my fault.
Where are you going? Medina!
I beg your pardon, Lord Serenoa, but a doctor from the Ministry requests an audience.
My name is Medina. I've heard much about your house and simply had to see it for myself.
What insolence is this? Stand down. Pray tell, what brings you before me?
It is said House Wolfert possesses a relic known as the Scales of Conviction. Is this true?
It is. We turn to the scales for guidance in times of trouble.
Then, I wonder if they might guide me forward as well. I had a crisis of confidence. A man was counting on me to save his life, and I let him die. I cannot let this happen again. I wish to save all the lives I can, regardless of country or creed. Pray grant me the chance to consult the scales, that I might walk the righteous path.
The scales are merely a tool to an end. They are not a magical window into the future. When decisions must be made, all in this house have a say. We choose as best we're able and strive to ensure we chose wisely.
You mean you strive not to regret your decision?
That is all one can do. Forgive me if this is not the answer you sought.
Then, would House Wolfert accept my aid if I offered it, my lord?
If you would serve as a physician, that would be a boon. For we fear the war is far from over.
I would be honored, my lord. I would see what I could do to rewrite the order of things.
Then let us walk the path together.
I am at your service, my lord.
Alright, got another healer. Increases opponent's save healing items, can use items twice in the same turn. Nice. I think we're gonna have to go back to our encampment soon, too.
And you are certain the other saints harbor no suspicions?
House End is known for its clandestine dealings. They suspect nothing outside of the ordinary.
Good. Do not fail me, Booker. We must open another transportation route now that Glenbrook is close to us. We mustn't let a mere war stem the flow of our goods.
Of course, Your Excellency. Once we have secured the Wolfort domain, I suspect our work will proceed even faster than before. To say nothing of the accolades you are sure to receive from the Holy One for bringing Wolfort into the fold.
At last, Exham and those sniveling upstarts will know their place. They will see who among the Saintly Seven truly wields the power, as will the Holy One. Only Esfrost's forces stand in our way. Have the Wolforts agreed to our plan?
Yes, Your Excellency. When the time is right, they will turn on Esfrost, and we shall entrap them from both sides.
Good. Good. I wish you glory on the battlefield, Booker.
Crush those as frosty dogs under your heel. When they have been well bloodied and bruised, I shall lead the main force to deliver their final punishment. The detractors of House N's military cunning will have to hold their tongues after today.
Starting to regret my decision.
I've had enough.
You've had enough. Where are your manners? You are our captive, and it is only by my brother's grace that you aren't eating scraps off the floor.
She should be crying tears of joy for our largesse. Perhaps she still has delusions of royalty. We should disabuse her of such notions. She must learn to finish her meal, even if we must force it down her gullet. Don't flail too much, dear, else this fork might prick something it isn't meant to. Get away!
What is that infernal racket?
She's so cruel, brother. She said she spits on Esfrost's generosity.
Must you bicker like children? Remind me how old you are, Erica.
Have you finished with your duties, brother? If so, perhaps we could enjoy a meal together.
My duties are endless. In fact, I would have you two oversee our occupation of the capital in my stead.
Can't you have that brute Avlora do it?
General Avlora is afield. House Wolford has requested our aid, and they deserve some token for handing us the prince. Your options for rescue are fast dwindling, Princess.
They'll be gone at last. It must be tonight.
Oh, what she's got planned. Cordelia. Alright. Equipment. I don't know if I'll be able to upgrade much of anything, but we'll see if we have another, one of these battles. Yep, looks like we do. Said, could do it. Yeah, let's... There's Medina, Lord Serenoa. You can supply your forces with medicines they need. Just say the word, and it shall be yours. Your shelter shall know no pain while I'm around. Right? Who else? Alright, let's do this battle. Oh, this looks like it's gonna be tough. Who should we have, though?
May we return home unharmed.
Yeah, we'll go with these guys. That's the case. Maybe I should upgrade these guys. Alright, let's just save it. We'll see what we can do first. I think we'll be alright. Begin. Here we go. Okay.
Your orders?
Maybe we should move her over here instead.
You won't catch me.
Here I come.
Feisty, aren't we?
But where shall we strike?
Ooh, look at that. One shot. Let's get him.
Perish.
Not bad.
To work. Might use this.
I'll take you on! I'll be your shield!
I hope you're watching, Grandfather.
Seems like Spark will take him out.
Don't be afraid.
Bam. Ooh, he's got a lance. Dang it. Nobody's falling for my trap.
I'll do my utmost.
That doesn't look very good either. Alright. Double items. Hopefully one of her abilities will be like not having a chance to like not use the item up.
Let me heal your wounds.
Who should I put haste on?
Go quick.
Sure.
Delightful. I will end this.
Resistance. Still gonna nail him though.
2 ashes. Oh no!
I ain't that slow. Ah!
Ooh, let's do this. Stabby.
Yeah. Sounds strong.
Have another! Look at me learning.
Throw poison. Sure.
Supper. This battle is ours.
Looks like that's gonna finish him off.
This ends now! Come on, then.
Let's do cleave.
All or nothing.
Yeah, we got this.
Whatever it takes.
And where shall we strike?
Parry. Ready.
Gotcha.
Yes. That
I hope
trap
you're watching, grandmother.
worked.
Don't be afraid. Let me show you what I've learned.
Yeah, we'll finish it off.
Blade, heed my call.
Nice. Oh, a lot of timber. Alright, what can we upgrade actually? We got some new people, so really? Practice shooting needs stone. Can we buy any stone? We got one. We'll increase your health. We'll increase your damage, why not? Nice. Alright, still got nothing more here. Yet. I gotta keep in mind we have those quietest things we can be using.
Our scouts have sent their report. Hyzant has dispatched a small force bound to our location. They're expected to arrive at nightfall.
We will do battle in the dark, then.
We should map out the perimeter and terrain before they come.
You sound frightened. There is no need. My troops shall make quick work of Sorsley. You will see that giving us Roland was the wise choice.
I simply think it best to be prepared. There is no room for regrets in battle.
A small force? What is that bastard planning?
Likely he intends to strike after we've worn each other thin. Victory will come easily for him then.
Saving the ripest fruit for himself, eh? Seems no matter where we look, some beast is slavering for a bite of our land.
And this is the beast we have chosen to side with. We must move forward lest we look back in doubt.
Alright. Here's what we'll be facing up against the Frosty Army in the rain. Oh no! Frederica's fire magic. Should have looked around before the Byzantine forces arrive. Possible foot soldiers look nervous, but they needn't worry. We've got General Ablora on our side, and she never lost a fight. I mean, she beat the Dawn Spear pretty much. Reports to main shows the border with Hyzant, so will be a decisive one for our house. Well aware, isn't that precisely why you begged your own enemies for help? I have stated Glenborkin is in right now, and no choice but to ask for your aid. For that we cannot thank you enough. But of course, even so. It can't be easy having to address a common soldier like me with such respect. Losing one's ruler is an awful thing indeed. Just like just yesterday, three nations were celebrating a new age of peace, and now we meet on the field of battle. Will Roselli ever see true peace? I don't think we're going to be able to beat Avalora. You didn't follow my command, Marcelo. I only ask that you stay out of my way. Just remember that Hyzant is your enemy and not us. But if you dare turn your blade against me, know that I would return the favor in full force. Uh-oh. I'm starting to regret my decision. Quality fiber. Not so long ago that General Ablora marched on Whiteholm Castle. I don't ever forget the way she so callously struck down Prince Franny. General Ablora indeed fearsome more. Allying with Hyzant gives us a chance maybe to strike her down. That's also true, but... Gustav was going to give the order. Beating her would be an undeniable blow to Frosty military might. Aye, the risk is well worth the reward. We cannot afford to make a mistake. We must stand strong. Something tells me this is going to go very poorly. Give me all the money. I missed the one outcome already because I had a locked dialogue choice. Makes me sad. I don't know what I missed. As you predicted, it looks like the Byzantine army will try to strike at night. So Aspharos and Hyzant face off again. It's the stucco nightmares, I tell ya. I just pray this doesn't turn out to be the second coming of the Salt Iron War. House N specializes in managing salt, not soldiers. Their might on the battlefield pales in comparison to House Macredal and House Barent, but I am sure we can still put them to good use. Oh, I finally got some leather. Does that mean we can upgrade Frederica now? Can we even do that here? Nope, looks like we'll have to go back to the encampment. There we go. Ooh, I have to upgrade this too. Or maybe I should go for one of these. Increases damage dealt by Blazing Chain. Increases damage dealt by Scorch. Yeah, do that. We'll double down on Scorch. Hopefully that will help to negate at least some of the negatives we'll get from like using Fire in the Rain. Alright, time to leave. I think we're done exploring here too. Make sure I talk to everybody. Yeah. All right. I think we might end stream here pretty soon too, actually. Recommended level swap. Oh, we got a character story. Single man survived the battle of the Citadel of the Sands, but who is he? Could it be Dawn Spear, Sir Maxwell? No, I don't know.
Got you right in my sights.
Every user go doing Sublime War outside Citadel of the Sands.
There are too many of them, Minister Archibald. And flee we must. I'll hold him here, but you lot, retreat!
There's no one left to retreat.
Minister Archibald!
Yikes.
No, this cannot be how it ends. Lungs yet draw breath, my heart yet beats. This place shall not be my grave.
Pew pew. Here's he survived.
So the cycle of war and chaos begins anew. And once again, I must take up my bow. I've been watching you fight from afar, and I like what I see. Almost reminds me of myself in my younger days. You flatter me. Still, I doubt you'll emerge victorious. Without me on your side, that is. The name's Archibald. Allow me into your ranks, and you'll see. I can match men half my age, shot for shot.
I couldn't ask one so elderly to risk his life in battle.
This graybeard survived the Salt Iron War with naught but the bow in his back, I'll have you know. And my aim is just as sharp now as it was then. I haven't many years left, lad, and I'd like to spend them fighting for a just cause.
If that is what you wish, then I shall not refuse. We welcome your bow.
Okay. It's gonna want to upgrade him now. Oh, my goodness. Deals more damage to distant targets as his bow boosts increased range. Ooh, that is pretty good. Okay. Well, let's go back encampment, see if we can upgrade him. Should also see what we can exchange. Nothing here yet. We still can't promote anybody either. Okay. Timber and fiber, we can upgrade that at least. Alright. Okay, we're gonna save the game, and I think that's probably gonna be it for me. For today, we'll have to take on the next chapter next time. Alright, let's see, who can we raid today? I think we'll raid 16-bit ninja. Alright, and that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you very much for coming. I'll see you later. Bye.